Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, the 23rd day of January. Today is National Pie Day. Yum. I like pie. What is your favorite kind of pie?
Homemade banana cream pie.
Yeah, mine's probably coconut cream pie. That's good stuff. But I also like peach pie, cherry pie, blueberry pie, just about every kind of pie. National Handwriting Day today and Library Shelfie Day today.
Shelfie.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to take a photo of yourself, like a selfie, in front of a library shelf, I think. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Also, I have a comedy.
I thought you were doing a Sean Connery impression.
What's that?
I thought you were doing a Sean Connery impression.
Here, take my shelfie. No, that's not what I was doing. But I've got hashtag comedy call today, Heidi. Going to be visiting with Gallagher. I've always thought that guy was so funny. And he had comedy special after comedy special after comedy special, like all throughout the 80s, like every year, put out a bigger, better comedy special. Mm-hmm. Super excited to visit with Gallagher. And he's way more than just the dude that smashes watermelons. We're going to find out a bunch of other things that he's known for. That's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
Want a good laugh to start every day? We do, and you can too. Be sure to follow WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com on Facebook. Every morning we send out our Weird Gift of the Day. You don't even have to buy anything. You can just follow our page and laugh at the bizarre real gift items we find and share every morning. And maybe you can share them with your friends who have a good sense of humor too. We have a link to make it easy to find us at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for surveys and studies and such. If your throat's getting scratchy, you might want to reach for some chocolate. Yeah. Instead of a little bit of cough syrup, according to a new study, it says here, you might want to reach for a chocolate bar over cough syrup for a scratchy throat. According to leading experts at the University of Hull, they're advising chocolate is better for a cough and respiratory problems than standard medicine. So, you know, couldn't hurt to try. I'm just saying. It's like, oh, shucks, I got to eat chocolate? I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's just something that, like, you know, it coats you in the right way. I have no idea what it is, but
I don't know.
Does that sound weird to you?
Not real. I mean, chocolate, I think, cures everything.
There you go. It's a cure. Also cures depression. Well, maybe not cures it, but sure makes it easier to manage. There you go. That's today's surveys and studies and such on the John and Heidi Show.
Cable and dish companies keep jacking up their rates. Join the cable cutting revolution with ChannelSurferTV.com. Watch TV with no monthly fee. Our DVR lets you record shows and pause live TV with no monthly fee. Want to stream movies? We have a device for that too. It works with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and many other streaming platforms, so you can cut the cable and save a ton of money every month. Learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com. That's ChannelSurferTV.com.
And this is your brain on drugs. A Pennsylvania man allegedly left 2 pounds of marijuana in the back seat of an Uber. He was arrested after he tried to get it back from an undercover state trooper. 21-year-old Malik Mullet hailed an Uber in Pittsburgh, or near Pittsburgh, back in December. He left his bag containing about 2 pounds of weed in it. He contacted Uber, which then reached out to the driver about the missing bag. The unidentified driver called the police earlier in the month, after he found the load of marijuana sealed in plastic bags inside the big bag. Trooper from the Pennsylvania State Police posed as the Uber driver January 9th, and they set up a meeting to return the bag. And it says the two made arrangements to meet at McDonald's. He arrived at McDonald's. Undercover trooper went inside, gave him the carrier. I must be the bag. Another trooper then fast food joint quickly arrested him. So
okay,
there you go. There's a lot going on in that story, but the moral of the story is don't do drugs, and if you do, don't leave them in an Uber, and if you do, don't call them and say, hey, can I get those drugs back? And if you do, just expect to be arrested. That's kind of a long story, but there you go. That is the moral of today's story. In other words, this is what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Pete Davidson found a way to get himself back in the news again, Heidi. He addressed on Saturday Night Live about a suicide scare, and that was something that, you know, it was all over the place the last couple of days on Twitter and on the Internet. And I think it's sad, so I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I hope Pete gets the help that he needs. So, and I hope that he's not making a joke of this. I hope that's not, you know, just somebody looking for laughs, because if that's the case, that's really, really, really sad.
I just don't get
I know.
the hype with this guy, period.
I know.
I don't understand.
He keeps getting himself pulled into the news for stuff that he's doing, and, again, we're talking about
why were
him.
they so fascinated with him
I
for
know.
who he was dating? I mean,
I know.
I just don't even know.
Again, Pete, nothing against you, dude, but if this, I hope you're not just doing this to, get people talking about you. If you do, that's a sad deal. M. Night Shyamalan scored his 5th #1 movie, Glass, brought in $47 million over the holiday weekend. I've not seen that. I've heard about it.
I've heard about it. It looks really good.
And
That
it
dude
does.
is super talented.
And then there's a new YouTube original out from the guys who brought us Deadpool. It's called Wayne. Now, wasn't that his character's name? Wasn't his name Wayne?
I don't
The
remember.
character Deadpool
I honestly
wasn't-
don't remember.
I kind of wonder if that's what it is. Anyway, it goes back to 1978, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I've got all the information in the show notes, but I see we're completely over time on this break. So we've got your scoop of the day on the way.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Sports Illustrated has postponed the publication of their swimsuit issue from February to May. Wouldn't that make more sense anyway? Why would they put this out in February? I guess that's when they usually do it. So I'm not sure what the postponement is. I'm not a subscriber to the magazine, never have cared for that. I'm not a sports guy, but I've never been a big fan of that particular issue anyway, because I'm like, why are they, for one issue a year, doing something completely different? But, I guess I understand. I understand why, men are drawn to that, but I don't know. It just seems really bizarre, doesn't it?
The only thing that I remember about Sports Illustrated is in the 80s they were giving away football phones.
Oh, yeah. I wanted one of those.
Yeah, so did I. But I didn't want the magazine.
Did you get one or no?
No.
Me neither.
No.
Anybody got a football phone? Anybody have a regular phone? I've got a link to this story if you want to know all about the swimsuit issue. It's in the show notes. Video's gone viral of 3 women twerking on the roof of an SUV as it drove down a Missouri
that's
highway.
Smart.
Police were called. The girls did not receive any fines. They are just lucky they didn't get hurt. When I was a kid, there was this movie that came out called Teen Wolf. Remember that?
Yeah.
And Michael J. Fox's character became a teen wolf in the movie.
It's a great movie.
He would surf on the roof of a van, or like a big truck. Remember that?
I remember.
And there were kids doing that back then. We didn't have video phones and stuff where you could throw it online, so it didn't become viral, but it became as viral as it could. And they were telling people back then, don't do that. It's dangerous.
It's very,
It is
very dangerous.
But I remember a kid from my hometown that did that and fell down and got hurt, like big time hurt. So he was not even twerking, just standing, surfing on the roof of a vehicle. Kids, don't do that. It's a bad idea. And cybersecurity firm discovered 770 million email addresses and passwords inside a hacking forum. Well, that's not good. That's a little. I wonder if mine is in there. You been getting any weird emails lately?
No.
I have been. I apparently signed up for some newsletters I didn't know I signed up for. I unsubscribed from them, but I was almost afraid to. I was thinking, if I unsubscribe, does that let them know that it's actually making it through? But it was clogging up my inbox. So I was like, yeah, unsubscribe. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully nothing nefarious. Reese's.
Nefarious.
I tried to squeeze that one in.
Yeah.
It did not make it under the radar. You caught that one. A company by the name of Reese's. Apparently they make candy of some kind.
I
Never heard of these people.
am vaguely aware of them.
It's my favorite. They're selling Valentine's Day bouquets made entirely of peanut butter cups. Oh. That does sound like a good idea.
Yeah, it does.
I know what I'm getting myself for Valentine's Day. Natural Light Beer is donating $10 million to student loan debt. The company released a statement saying that they, quote, want to help students remember college fondly, end quote. Okay, you guys are also part of the reason that most students don't remember parts of college. But I think it's cool that they're doing that. Natural Light, hats off to you. That's really cool. And a hotel dishwasher in Miami was awarded $21 million pre-settlement after her boss violated her religious rights by forcing her to work Sundays. I don't understand.
Oh.
$21 million? I need to get a job as a dishwasher in Miami. I mean, that's a lot of dough. A dog interrupted a soccer match in England when it ran out onto the field. I saw a video of this online. Can you imagine that in the middle of a professional sporting game and all of a sudden there's a dog on the field?
But that's a little more commonplace than the naked people that
Yeah.
you usually see running
Yeah.
around, so that's a good thing.
I just think that's bizarre. The FDA is threatening to pull e-cigs from stores. They continue to market their products towards teenagers, and they say, we're going to pull you guys out of here completely. I'm not a fan of those. I was actually on a committee where they were talking about, I thought that they were healthier because they were being advertised that way, but they're not. And there's a lot of questions. So, I went from, hey, this is really cool. It's a healthier alternative. And then I'm in this meeting and I'm going, wait a minute, it's not healthier? Then why are they saying that?
Well,
they want to
they
sell
lie
their
in
products?
advertising?
You're
No.
kidding me. And one last thing. The human family tree has gotten a new member after a DNA test confirmed the existence of a, quote, missing link. So they actually found some DNA that's not human, that's not monkey. There's DNA of something that's in between. So interesting stuff. Don't know where they found it. I'm assuming somewhere on Heidi's side of the family. Just kidding. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
At FunkyMonkeyShirts.com, we want to remind you it's never too early to start thinking about Valentine's Day. And what says I love you better than awesome, matching fun t-shirts? Get something for your sweetie and for you. We have several his and hers t-shirt designs to choose from at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Let the world know how much you love one another. And wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, at least on your shirt. With a little help from FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. My guest for today is known by just one name. A lot of people need a first and last name, but when I just say Gallagher, everybody knows exactly who I'm talking about. We've got Gallagher on the line with us right now. You might know him as a guy that smashes watermelons on stage, but he's way more than that. Leo Gallagher, thank you so much for joining us on the program today.
I just finished another poem that everybody ignores. You know, the great thing about the internet is that you can fail on a worldwide scale. When I think of the thousands of people that are exposed to my poems, and then I get like 10, 15, it's ridiculous. But I've written another one. I love it. I'm thinking of sending it to that country singer. He begins with a P. I had 5 heart attacks. I can never think of words that begin with capital letters. And you're thinking, of course, he's got a cowboy hat. They all do. Hey, you can listen to my song about cowboy hats on Gallagher's Music Video Contest.com. I have 6 records there that I did with the Kenny Rogers Band, and the world is ignoring them.
Holy cow.
Oh, God, they're highly produced failures. I got one, I'm only getting high to get closer to you, Jesus. I love that one. It's just borderline.
That's awesome.
With this president, it's just borderline. Hey, instead of making a fence down there, they should make a long, thin prison. Then when they come over the first wall, bam, you got him in jail.
See, he needs you on the cabinet, doesn't he?
Common sense. You don't fry bacon naked. I can't get people to just pay attention. They pick something out of their teeth, they look at it, then they put it back in. Every little thing you do tells everything about you. And if they do that, they'll do other stupid things too. But it's ingrained in America. It's in law. It's a law. We've encoded stupidity. We have rigidity of stupidity in America. We put a satellite telescope in orbit out of focus looking for intelligent life. They can see that from outer space. You can see how stupid we put streets north and south so that half of the people will have the sun in their eyes going east and west in the morning and at night.
That's awesome.
We've got it. Now it's in concrete stupidity. We put sidewalks inviting people to get hit once the car comes over the curb. Then we put telephone poles with electric lines over the people pushing their children in baby buggies. This is why the flying saucers don't land. They can smell stupid.
Well, you've been named numerous different times throughout your career America's #1 comedian. That has got to just be really cool to know that people love you as much as they do, and they still do. Everybody just loves Gallagher. What does that feel like when you walk in and you just hear the crowd that's just roaring, that they're so excited just to see you show up?
I'm disappointed. They've ruined a wonderful career as a scientist. I was a chemist before I realized I was funny. And I sent my first routine to George Carlin. I didn't want anything to do with comedy or career, and that I was going to cure cancer or something meaningful. I loved chemicals and small particles, subatomic. I loved thinking about that. We ruined it all just because I couldn't believe the comedians were so terrible. They're just terrible. You know, they're lucky they're not in olden times in the castle where they had to be the court jester and make the king laugh, because he'd have killed him. He'd have killed him. They're terrible.
Well, the thing that I think is really interesting, you are one of the smartest guys out there. You're such a very intelligent person.
I just said that. I'm the stupidest smart guy who ever wanted to be a comedian. I tried to bring... People don't want smartness when they're getting drunk and rowdy.
Well, that's what I think is interesting, is you're such a smart guy, and I've known this for years, that you're very intelligent, but people know you as the guy that smashes watermelons, but you're also an inventor and a poet and a musician and just an all-around very intelligent person. You smashed a watermelon, you've done that for years, and people know you for that. So I guess it's good that you're known for something, but I just wish everybody knew you for all of the other things that you offer as well.
That's why I hesitated before poking my head up as a celebrity. I actually worked for Jim Stafford for his career there at the beginning for 5 years. For 5 years, I had sledge-O-matic in my back pocket while we were out there. I don't like spiders and snakes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Oh, I was calling the lights. At one time, Bruce Springsteen opened for Jim, so we never knew he was going to be Bruce Springsteen later on. We just thought he was, you know, a guy who demanded that his roadies use flashlights so he doesn't trip.
Yeah.
Seemed out of place, like they were treating him royally, and we didn't know he was a king.
Well, he was just a king before we knew it, right?
Well, his employees did, is what I'm saying. I'm just giving you a little backstage.
That's awesome. And we're visiting with one of the kings of comedy right now, Gallagher. And if people would like to find you online and maybe follow you so they can see some of your poetry and they can listen to some of the music, where do they find you online these days?
Well, you don't have to be my friend to read my up-to-the-minute poems on Facebook at Leo Gallagher. And you can witness there how little interest there is nationally and worldwide for my ideas, because they're thoughty. You know what I'm saying? They're thoughty. And I really need, some of them could be put to music, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I'm funny, and then we could sing it.
Well, I am going to absolutely go on there, and I'm going to become a follower, and I'll share that for you as well. I think you're a hilarious guy, and I know millions of other people do too. There's not many comedians out there that can go by one name. You know, I don't have to say Leo Gallagher. When I just say Gallagher, they know exactly who I'm talking about. So I think you've done very, very well for yourself.
Not to Google. If you Google Gallagher, you get them kids and Oasis.
Well, I'm not even going to do that. I already know who I'm talking to. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to visit with me.
Bye.
Again, our guest today has been Gallagher, and I've got a link to his website on our website, johnandheidishow.com. You'll find a link to all of his information in the show notes for today. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
Cable and dish companies keep jacking up their rates. Join the cable cutting revolution with channelsurfertv.com. Watch TV with no monthly fee. Our DVR lets you record shows and pause live TV with no monthly fee. Want to stream movies? We have a device for that too. It works with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and many other streaming platforms, so you can cut the cable and save a ton of money every month. Learn more at channelsurfertv.com. That's channelsurfertv.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A study in the shades of gray is the real name of a famous picture that you probably know as the Whistler's Mother.
Oh.
The real name of that painting is A Study in the Shades of Grey.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Everybody knows it as Whistler's mother.
That is fascinating.
It is fascinating, and it is today's fun fact. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
At funkymonkeyshirts.com, we want to remind you it's never too early to start thinking about Valentine's Day and what says I love you better than awesome matching fun t-shirts. Get something for your sweetie and for you. We have several his and hers t-shirt designs to choose from at funkymonkeyshirts.com. Let the world know how much you love one another and wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, at least on your shirt. With a little help from funkymonkeyshirts.com. That's funkymonkeyshirts.com.
Time now for Fear This. It's fun with phobias. Gamophobia. 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 What do you think gamophobia is, Heidi?
This one I don't know.
The fear of marriage. Marriage.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know what
I don't know. Gamophobia.
Huh.
Gamophobia. Gamophobia. The fear of marriage. I was watching a comedian that was talking about how women trick men into marrying them. I disagree completely. He was like, every time I see somebody posing, she said yes, posting that on Facebook, he said what it really should say is she, tricked me into staying with her the rest of her life. I don't think so at all. I think he maybe has some relationship issues, but I didn't trick you into marrying me. I'm glad that you married me. Or you didn't trick me into marrying you, rather, because he was saying that women trick men into marrying them. No, I'm glad to be with you. So even if you don't follow me on Facebook anymore, Heidi, she unfriended me on Facebook. That's a whole different story. But we're still married. Happily married. Just not friends on Facebook. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Want a good laugh to start every day? We do, and you can too. Be sure to follow WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com on Facebook. Every morning we send out our Weird Gift of the Day. You don't even have to buy anything. You can just follow our page and laugh at the bizarre real gift items we find and share every morning. And maybe you can share them with your friends who have a good sense of humor too. We have a link to make it easy to find us at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Today's weird gift is a pizza cutter that looks like a little power tool, like a little saw. That's kind of cool.
That is cute.
So that's our weird gift of the day from WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. The weird news now. Police say a burglar is in custody after quite the incident that happened in Hoboken, which is just fun to say. You want to say
Hoboken?
Isn't that fun to say? He had some twists and turns along the way. It started when authorities say a man wearing a construction jacket broke into a pizzeria through the roof. He tried to break into an ATM to steal cash, but was unsuccessful. Then he went and took a couple dozen bottles of Snapple. He then tried to use a fire extinguisher to break through the front door, only to find out that there was a rolled-down gate that was closed. He was trapped inside. He then climbed back up through the attic, and then he fell down through the nail salon next door, proceeded to steal some money from the salon. Upon realizing he was trapped there as well, climbed back into the attic, then fell into a liquor store next door.
Well, you got to be trapped somewhere.
He broke a 6-foot hole and then went into a dollar store where he was still unable to escape.
Jeepers.
He drank the liquor, fell asleep on a shelf, and they found him at 10 a.m. So that is just bizarre.
That's a bad day.
Don't break in if you don't have a plan to break out. But in other words, just don't break in, period. So this is very weird news. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Apparently it's not just in Hollywood that people return to the scene of the crime. Don't they always do that in the movies?
Yeah.
It's just the craziest thing. In Largo, Florida, police say they arrested a man who tried unsuccessfully to rob 2 banks. After the second one, he went back to the first bank. They posted a story here. Ronald Mazie tried to enter the Bank of America, but he found the bank wasn't open yet. He was wearing a mask while he was trying to open the door at about 8:20 a.m. Then he rode away on a bicycle, and he couldn't get inside. And called the police. The employees there, they said, there's a dude with a ski mask and a bike. So about 40 minutes later, a quarter mile south, he's trying to get into another bank. Then he goes back to the first bank. Anyway, There were police there at the time, and they were able to just pick him up quite easily. So, yeah, that's not a good plan.
Not at all.
And what was he going to do on the bicycle?
And
high-speed pursuit on a
is it really a good idea to rob 2 different banks within moments of each other?
No, it's not a good idea to do that ever. 40 minutes between the two.
Yeah.
But he didn't rob the first one. He wasn't able to get in. They were locked up still. So, I don't know. Still a bad plan. It's definitely today's moment of duh.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for the dad joke of the day, and this is more of a scenario that you can actually use, Heidi. Anybody that wants to can use this. Thank you to our listeners that are sending these in, by the way. It says, while checking out at the grocery store, they always ask you, would you like a bag for your milk? You can simply say, no thanks, let's just leave it in the jug.
Oh, my gosh. No, I don't think I'll be using that.
I think I might do that.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
I have a thing that I always say when I order iced tea. That's my thing, my drink of choice. And they'll come around and say, would you like some more iced tea? And I always say, oh, no.
I have to drive.
No, I got to drive. And
Yeah.
the waitress always laughs and then walks away and says, I hate that man. Okay, I don't know if she really says that, but that's usually what I'm sure they're thinking. This is today's dad joke. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It's actually kind of sad news with some happy news mixed in, but so many times they are, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
Usually there's like some
Sometimes.
incident that makes you go, oh, that's too bad. Then you go, oh, that's real
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Well, get ready
usually.
for one of those. So here's our good news. I'll read the headline to you first because that's probably a good place to start. Instead of selling her $1.7 million home, a woman is giving it away to the winner of a letter writing contest. So I got to make sure Heidi is listening here because Heidi is a pretty good letter writer. But take a listen to what the story is here. And like I said, it's good news and sad news all at the same time. If you're looking to live in a magnificent $1.7 million home in the scenic hills of Canada, then you should write a letter to Alla Wagner. She suffered a back injury last year. She's been unable to manage the stairs of her 5,000 square foot home in Alberta, Canada. 5,000 square feet. That's a lot of square feet, isn't it?
That is.
What is the average home? Way less than that, right?
Yeah.
Home care nurses suggested she upgrade the home to accommodate her disability, but she just couldn't bear change the beloved structure. She says, I view this home as a work of art. I don't want to make changes to it that's going to compromise its look and value,
So why did she
craftsmanship
not
in the home.
sell this home?
Well,
Why is she just giving it away?
Can I read the rest of the story? Because that's kind of what we're working on. She spent several months trying to sell the home,
Oh,
but
okay.
to no avail. Instead of giving up, however, she had an idea. She said, I'm going to host a letter writing contest, and I'm going to give strangers the opportunity to write about why they would want to live in this home. I've got a link to this if you want all the details. She'll be accepting up to 68,000 submissions. That's a lot of submissions. As a means of recouping the cost of her home, participants are asked to pay $25 for their application. So that's her concept.
Okay.
So if the letter application fees don't help her break even within the next few months, she will refund all of the $25 admissions to all of the people. I don't know if this is legal. Is
That's
this
what
legal?
I was just going to say. Is that legal? Can
I
you
don't-
do that?
Apparently, it's
I mean,
on
maybe
the internet.
in Canada, it's
I don't know.
you know.
The contest, if it succeeds, she plans on giving away 5% of the proceeds to the Calgary Women's Shelter. She's already started reviewing letters for the contest, and she says she's been heartened by the submissions. Heartened? Apparently that's a word. She says just that one family that will end up in this home, in this house, and make it into a home for themselves and be happy here, as I have been. I know it's going to be a beautiful story in the end. So I think it's really kind of a cool thing. But it's interesting.
I just don't know.
It's you know, it's one of those things where
It's not heartwarming. It's not like she's just giving it away. She still wants her money.
well, she probably needs that to be able to live somewhere else. I'm assuming. But she's giving people the opportunity to write a letter
I don't know.
and submit
There's something
$25
about this that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, there's I can see where you're coming from because it's a little different, but I thought it was a neat story. And I've got a link to it in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.